Good morning. I'm hoping you guys have a perfect day, evening. I know that most of you guys are at night right now, so I'm wishing you all the best. Um, I managed to figure out what was the problem. It was a problem with a faulty ESC. Seems to me like it's not 100% damage and could still be repaired. Most of you recommended, if not all of you, to just not bother with it and replace it. Uh, um, I wanted to use a 30 amps ESC, but the connectors are not correct, so I'm going to be using the 15 amps ESC, the new one, and if it burns, oh well, that's part of life. At least I will figure out what caused the ESC to freak out. We're all set up, ready to go. I'm putting you on my forehead and we'll go flying. I will cut the talking today a little bit, as much as I can, because my throat hurts. Plus, I don't want to waste all the time in the field. I still have a lot of things to do today, so doing that now. Alright, so there's like zero wind, but if it is, it's coming from that way. Doing a little crap check really quickly, just to make sure everything works. Alright, well, I'm having a little bit of an issue with this right elevon, I'm sorry. I'll try to live with it like that. I think that servo is going to die soon, so alright. This is full throttle. I'm putting it down to around 50% throttle. Oh, this is dead stick. Not dead stick, I'm sorry. 50% throttle but no control, so it seems to be quite trimmed out. That was full throttle just so I can gain some altitude again. I cut the throttle down back to 50%, so I should have a nice cruising flight like Josh Bixler says. I try to do those 8s, which I don't tend to be able to do all that often. This is less than 50% throttle right now, so I'm like at about 50%, maybe a little bit more. Going full throttle again, trying to gain back altitude. I don't want to stall it, so I'm trying to elevate down a bit. The next time I will be going flying, I think I'm gonna take my son with me, try to hand him over the remotes. I've done a bit of practicing with him, not as much as I really wanted to, but I did a bit of practicing like Arcfire did with his son, although his son is smaller than mine, where he was tossing it and he let his son try to land it down from a toss, which is what I did with my simple soarer. And I'll do that a few more times with my son, and then the next time I go flying, 3 channel, I'll bring him up and I'll make sure I give it a nice high altitude and just let him control it a bit. I'm sure it will increase his dedication. So I'm going back to trying to do those 8s. What are these 8s? These are more like ovals. Alright, well, it seems like that far away I'm kind of losing connection. I put back full throttle just to bring it back quicker. Whee! I love doing those flybys, especially when you have friends over flying around with you or just watching you. I love to get those close flybys. As you guys saw, that could have very easily been a crash right now. Luckily, the plane is with no trim, so each try that I do with controllers, or each move that I do with the controllers is really tough on the plane. I really hope you guys are catching this on video, that you actually see me flying. I'm more happy with it. I feel that I'm controlling the plane a lot more. I'm having fun. I'm trying to use the last few days before a 4 or 5 day rainstorm actually hits us. It's not all that problematic here in Israel because it's like rain that is kind of like a joke, but still it gets the field wet, it gets the plants wet, which is good for us because Israel doesn't have a lot of water, but it does mean that I cannot fly. Whee! Again, this is around 50% throttle. I think I'm gonna bring it in just to check the ESC is not heating up, and also check oh wow. I'm not going to take anything but a landing next to my feet this time, or in my hands, either or. That was close to grab it with my hand, but it was coming a little too fast for my hands to grab it. I really just want to touch the ESC to make sure it's not heating up. ESC seems fine. A little heat, not all that much. So I'm doing a little quick check just to check the percentage of the battery. I'm sure I'm still good, but hey, better safe than sorry. So quickly check this up. I only got 2 batteries today that I'm gonna go flying with, because I officially, I'm sorry, buried or decided to call the other one that I had, the 3-cell 1000 milliamps, a dead cell battery. Alright, well, I'm at 39%, so I can push my luck and go a little bit more. No real reason. I don't have a lot of fly time today as well. Just really enjoying myself. So I'm at 39-40% because it doesn't seem to, it always balances up a bit down, a bit up, it moves a little bit. So if I'm gonna leave it untouched, it's probably gonna go to 42%. No worries, I'm still at 3.8 on the first cell, 3.8 on the second cell. Seems like a perfect time to replace the battery and go fly with the other one. Transmitter off. Battery out. Again, now we're going to be running on a stronger battery. We're not going to be running 2-cell. The 2-cell 1000 milliamps is quite a solid fly. It's very, you can get really slow with it. Even if you try to go full throttle, you'll still be flying quite slow. To get this to work, I need to connect. Ouch, it just had a pop in my ear. I need to connect this. I'm using this converter. I was thinking if I have the energy to solder one yesterday, but I just couldn't find the energy. As you guys know, I'm not feeling all that well, and I don't have energy. I must say that one quick thing about the other battery that I was using a second ago, it was at 95%, wasn't higher. This battery needs a lot more balancing to it, so that's that. I also tend to take the ESC a little back with this battery for a few reasons. One, so that I can touch it quite firmly and feel how hot or cold it gets, and then also check what's its speed. So we're balanced out. Alright, so that's just about perfect. Ooh, that was lucky. Elevator, what's the case with the elevator? Alright, well, so we're good to go. All I have to do is lock in the battery. It's just something that I do with these barbecue skewers, as you guys know. Alright, well, only 2 barbecue skewers needed for this one. Let's go. I'd probably have another 5-minute fly time, and then we're gonna go home. Call it a day. So that's full throttle, gaining altitude, a lot of down. Alright, well, something wasn't right there. I'm afraid that I will burn off my ESC. I think I should have gone with a 30 amp ESC. Too bad I didn't check the connections. I should have thought about it. Anyhow, let's go get the plane. So what's the case? I think the case is quite simple. My receiver, my transmitter has very low battery, so I think that's what's causing the problems. Unfortunately, I don't think I have any more batteries for the transmitter, which sucks. But hey, well, I guess that's part of life. And I'm also having a rudder issue, which doesn't seem to move. So I have no rudder control either. I'm gonna go check that and be back with you. Alright, so that plane crash didn't create any much damage. I have a rudder issue, which clearly makes it hard to fly. Trying to touch the ESC, it's kind of difficult when I'm trying to walk. So I'm just gonna go to my place right here. Quickly check the ESC. See what's the case with the ESC. So. So the ESC is a bit warm, not something I cannot touch, but rather disconnect it, at least while I'm checking the rudder issue. Checking the rudder issue, and we'll be back with you shortly. Bye. Alright, so I'm having two problems right now, and until my field hot glue gun doesn't come through, I'll keep on having that problems. The rudder servo got disconnected from its location. Regardless, its connector is about to, one of the cables from the connector is about to rip off. Adding to that, the ESC is getting hot each time I use the 3-cell 1300 milliamps, so I don't want to push my luck with this ESC. I don't want to break it. I'd rather fly less today, even though it's a perfect day to go flying. I'd rather fly less than create any more damage, which will avoid me flying until my orders come through. If I did have a foam board, a piece of foam board that I could stick in between the two servos and kind of make sure that one of the servos doesn't move, I would have kept flying maybe just for a little bit more. Anyhow, not wanting to push my luck today. I'm not feeling well. I don't have energy to do any fixes lately. So calling it a day. Rather call it short than call it long with a lot of pain in the heart. Have a good one.